This is David McCary, and this is my alcohol lesson. And this is the PowerPoint and the activity that I have created to go with this unit. The beginning of class, the students will come in and this slide will be presented on the board. It says, why is alcohol dangerous? And each student will list reasons why they think it is dangerous to consume alcohol. And here's some statistics that alcohol is involved in for fatalities. Here's some basic alcohol notes: ethanol, type of alcohol in the beverage, fermentation, how they make alcohol, and here's some of the immediate effects. It's a depressant. It affects your motor skills, and it diminishes clear thinking and judgment. And here's a slide that explains what happens to the body. The alcohol travels through the bloodstream and goes into the brain. The liver metabolizes the alcohol in the bloodstream and makes it less active. The metabolism is where the process the body breaks down substances, and the kidneys filter the neutralized particles and other waste products from the blood and produce urine. Here's intoxication. What is intoxication? Intoxication is a state in which the body is poisoned by alcohol or another substance and the person's physical and mental control is significantly reduced. And here's some different things that can cause, like body size, gender, stomach contents. These all are different things, and that the alcohol will affect you differently based on these things. Here's a blood alcohol content. The amount of alcohol in a person's blood expressed as a percentage. Here's the blood alcohol content chart for males and for females. You see 0.8 is the legal limit for 21 and older to have in them and be behind a car. Here's some short-term effects on different systems. Got the nervous system, the cardiovascular, digestive, and respiratory. Alcohol abuse, the excessive use of alcohol. 25% of all youth is exposed to alcohol abuse. And binge drinking, drinking 5 or more alcoholic drinks at one sitting. Here's some other dangers of alcohol. Drug interactions, driving while intoxicated, alcohol poisoning, fetal alcohol syndrome, and long-term damage to major body systems and organs, and also alcoholism. Alcohol and drugs do not mix, a factor in 1/4 of all emergency room admissions. Multiplier effect, medication. You're not supposed to drink while on any medication. Typical interactions. Here's some driving under the influence, driving while intoxicated, and driving under the influence. Here's some consequences of DWIs and DUIs. You can get alcohol poisoning. Alcohol poisoning is a severe, potentially physical reaction to an alcohol overdose. Here's some effects. And then, of course, if you think someone is experiencing alcohol poisoning, call 911. FAS, or fetal alcohol syndrome, a group of alcohol-related birth defects that include physical and mental problems. Here's some effects. And if you are pregnant, it is not safe to drink any alcohol while pregnant. It can hurt the baby. Here's some long-term effects for the fetal alcohol syndrome. Here's alcoholism. Alcoholism is a disease which a person has a physically or physiological dependence on drinks that contain alcohol. An alcoholic is someone who is dependent. These can be influenced by genetic and environmental factors. Here's some symptoms of an alcoholic: craving, physical dependence. They have withdrawals from not having any alcohol. Here's the stages of alcoholism: abuse, dependence, and then addiction. For treatment, first the person has to admit that they have a problem, and then they can get into the more treatment of detoxifying, to where the person will go without alcohol in their body, have counseling and recovery, and then hopefully eventually sobriety. And this is, to finish out this lesson, it's an alcohol skit where the students will be separated into small groups, probably about 4 or 5, and the group will then create a peer pressure scenario that involves alcohol. The students will then write out a whole skit and then perform it in front of the class and demonstrate how someone can handle this peer pressure responsibly. Everybody in the group must participate, and the skit must contain 3 vocabulary words that we would go over in the slide. And other than that, I will also have a little alcohol test put on a Google form and shared throughout the class, and that is my alcohol lesson.